So, with the Grand under new management, that was the last episode in the series. This time next week, Patrick Bergin and Julia Roberts star in the movie thriller Sleeping with the Enemy. That's next Friday at 9:35.
In a perfect setting, they grew up.
It's the most beautiful house in the world.
With a rich family, they matured.
Of course I love you, of course.
In turbulent times, they were brought together.
I'm getting married.
And torn apart.
Peter O'Toole, Joanna Lumley, David McCallum, Penelope Keith, Susan Hampshire.
A star-studded cast in 2 feature-length parts. Coming Home, Easter Sunday at 8 and concluding Easter Monday on ITV.
Tomorrow's Grand National Mirror is only 20p. It's got the Look magazine free and an 8-page pull-out Grand National Fever, all for only 20p tomorrow.
I'm being held by an invisible force.
New formula L'Oreal Elnet.
This is no ordinary hairspray. For me, Elnet is the finest spray you can find. Here comes the science.
Elnet's unique microdiffuser sprays microfine.
I can hardly see it or feel it, but I know it's there, controlling my hair. Until I brush it through. Trust your hair to an invisible force.
New formula L'Oreal Elnet.
Because I'm worth it.
The MFI Home Works sale brings you some amazing savings. And with up to 50% off, a huge range of kitchen and bedroom cabinets from top names like Schreiber and Hygiena. The MFI Home Works sale is just too big to miss. And it's on now.
Central is ITV.
Give us this day all that you showed me, the power and the glory.
5 nations, 1 tournament, all pride. With a triple crown in their grasp, England meet Ireland at Twickenham. Exclusive terrestrial coverage, Saturday at 4:15. Rugby Union on ITV.
At the heart of the independent television network, this is Central ITV.
From ITN, News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
Close to agreement, deals within reach on Ulster. Police move in over theft of Diana letters. Aintree on edge as security cordon closes. And is this the end of the road for the cul-de-sac? Good evening. Tony Blair and his Irish counterpart Bertie Ahern said tonight that agreement in the Northern Ireland peace talks was possible by next Thursday's deadline. In a joint statement in London, they said it could be reached given realistic negotiation. However, they acknowledged that some difficulties remained. The talks chairman George Mitchell tonight set about concentrating the minds of Northern Ireland's party leaders on those stumbling blocks. He'll meet them individually in a series of meetings over the weekend. Ireland correspondent John Irvine reports from Stormont.
Former US Senator George Mitchell is the man in the middle. He's talks chairman, and tonight he tried to pave the way for an historic peace settlement next week. The parties are now considering his document, which outlines what's been agreed and what's outstanding. It is proof that since he set his agreement deadline, there has been movement forward. The two prime ministers are closer to reconciling their differences as well. Tonight, after their 5th meeting in 3 days, Bertie Ahern and Tony Blair announced that further progress had been made. The Secretary of State remains confident that there will be a peace deal by Thursday.
I think the prize is there, and I think if we continue to work in partnership together, I think we've got a good chance of making it.
Confidence-building measures for both communities will be part of a settlement, and today, nationalists welcome the start of a new inquiry into Bloody Sunday. The events of that day have always been disputed, but the facts are that rioting broke out when a march was stopped by the army. 14 unarmed civilians died after paratroopers opened fire. 3 judges were asked to carry out a fresh inquiry because not all available evidence was considered during the original investigation. Relatives of the dead hope that now the whole truth will be established.
Hopefully that this inquiry will give us the peace that we deserve and the truth and justice that our loved ones deserve.
For the people of Northern Ireland, next week will be a landmark for good or otherwise. The politicians here are going into new territory, and all of them are wary, for here one man's compromise is another's sellout. There are still huge difficulties to be overcome, but there is a reasonable chance that they will be. John Irvine, News at 10, Stormont.
Detectives investigating the alleged theft of Princess Diana's love letters to James Hewitt were still questioning his former fiancée tonight. The Italian Anna Ferretti was arrested at Waterloo International Station in London, where she was apparently about to board a Eurostar train to Paris. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Owen reports.
The London police station tonight, where Anna Ferretti has been questioned by police over the alleged theft of love letters to James Hewitt from the Princess of Wales during their 5-year affair. Not far away, the Eurostar terminal at Waterloo, where Miss Ferretti, in company of 2 journalists, was arrested today as she prepared to board a train for France. In Devon, detectives went to Major Hewitt's home. Their inquiries included examining a safe where the letters were kept until offered to the Mirror newspaper this week. James Hewitt's in southern Spain discussing new business ventures. He wants his lawyers to recover 62 letters, which were eventually handed over to Kensington Palace on Wednesday.
If Hewitt now asks for the letters themselves back, then I think technically they ought to be given back to him.
So Kensington Palace will have no option really but to return them as he has clearly requested.
I think that would be the strict legal position, subject to anything they might like to try and argue about that, yes.
The Princess admitted an affair with the Major, but felt betrayed when he cooperated with a book about her. It's reported that her intimate correspondence was so sensitive, Diana once wrote to Major Hewitt, "Please can you burn my letters after reading them now, in case they get into the wrong hands? Please." Whatever the ultimate fate of those letters, Anna Ferretti's questioning here for most of the day is just the start of the police inquiry and possibly a long legal wrangle over the correspondence itself. Nicholas Owen, News at 10, Central London.
An artist who used parts of dead bodies to make his sculptures was jailed for 9 months today. Anthony Noel Kelly was told that the sentence wasn't for his art or for his art form, but for the theft of human remains. The judge called that a revolting and disgraceful offence. Kelly's accomplice, Neil Lindsay, was given a suspended sentence. Andrew Simmons reports.
Anthony Noel Kelly had made sculptures from the casts of human remains, claiming his motives were purely artistic, but he was branded a body thief and jailed for 9 months. He had paid Niall Lindsay £400 to steal at least 35 preserved body parts kept as specimens at the Royal College of Surgeons. And he used them as moulds to cast these sculptures. Kelly, a nephew of the Duke of Norfolk, put some on show at an exhibition, describing them as tasteful.
I feel that even when you die, the substance is beautiful. I don't find them distasteful at all, so I'm going to stand by it.
And in court today, he did stand by the claim, but a judge told him he had affronted every reasonable concept of decent behaviour. Judge Geoffrey Rivlin said, "In this country, we pride ourselves on freedom of artistic expression." He told Kelly, "I do not sentence you for your art or your art form. I sentence you for a very serious theft." And he described his conduct as criminal and disrespectful.